In my garage tour, I brought up a topic that I really wanted to dive a little bit more into and get your opinions on it. So we're in Grand RP. We got a bunch of beautiful cars. Let's spawn a car in. We got a beautiful BMW Z4 right here. And now let's head on over to a custom shop. You know, this car is actually not too shabby. I fully maxed it out because the state value is only 500k. And by the way, if you guys have never played on the server before and want to, be sure to click the link down below in the description. Click on Start Playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, and download the launcher, and you're good to go. There's like never a line at this custom shop. I love it. Alright, let's bring the whip inside. So like I said, this car has a state value of 500k. If you want to put some wheels on it, it's only $75,000. You want to put some window tint on? 30 grand. You want to put some underglow on? 65,000 bucks. And if you want to change the color of the car, well, we can't really do that too well right now, but it's probably also very cheap. It's probably about this much. How much is this? 5 grand. 5,000 bucks. And a turbo is only 15k. And if you wanted to fully upgrade this thing at chip tuning, it would be pretty damn cheap as well. I believe like the first engine upgrade is only $50,000, and then the next one is 100k, then 150, and then 200k. So you could fully upgrade this car fairly easily in Grand RP, which is great. But now let's head back. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. That dude just went flying. That's kind of my bad. Whoops. But let's head back to the house and grab another vehicle, shall we? Let's hop in this beauty right here. Perfect. I'm gonna need to go get some electricity. So one thing I hate about electric cars is the fact that there's barely any electric charging stations around here, so it's kind of annoying. Now this car is also pretty fast. It is bone stock. The only thing I've done to it, I believe, is nothing, actually. I think I painted it black. That's literally the only thing I've done. All right, we've arrived at the custom shop in this car. Now, the state value of this car is $38 million. Let's see how much wheels cost. Now, for that Z4, I believe they were 70k. For this car, they are $5.7 million for the exact same wheels. That's right, $5.7 million. What about a horn? A simple horn, 380 grand. Headlight color, 5.7 million. Turbo, 1.1 million. Window tint, 2.2 million. And to change the color, which I did, is $380,000. You want to put some underglow on? It's $4.9 million. And this is just for the exact same upgrades that we were looking at for that Z4. And if you were to take this thing to chip tuning, I believe the very first engine upgrade is 3.8 million. And every time it adds another 3.8 million. So that means engine upgrade 2 is 7.6 million. That means the third one is 11.4, and the final engine upgrade is 15.2 million. So in total, you're spending an absolute bucket load of money in order to just upgrade the engine on this car, even though it doesn't have an engine and has batteries. But you guys see what the problem is here? We have two cars, and we're putting the exact same modifications on, yet the price difference is insane. Literally spending probably about $50 million to upgrade that car at the minimum, to fully upgrade it. And to fully upgrade this car right here, you might spend $1 million at the very most. Now, I understand that's a very expensive, very nice car, and this is a bit cheaper of a car. But when it comes down to it, we're putting the exact same wheels, exact same paints, and all that kind of stuff on the vehicles. And it costs a fortune. Like, think about that. $5.7 million to put wheels on this car. $5.7 million for underglow. And then like $4 million for window tint, millions of dollars for other little things, and even to just change the color, it's 380 grand, which is almost the state value of that BMW. So let's talk about the issue. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what it is. They need to put a cap on prices in chip tuning and custom shops, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, I get it. Certain upgrades should cost a lot more depending on the vehicle, but if they're the exact same upgrades, like if it's just a basic horn or it's just basic paint, then it shouldn't cost a lot more money for a different car. It's not about what car it is that you're painting, it's about the paint you're actually using. And if it's the same paint, then it shouldn't cost that much more. Like in other RP servers, you would bring whatever car in, and it would cost the same amount, but they would have different upgrades that you could put on it. For example, let's say in this car, I wanted to toss a supercharger in here. That would cost me like $70,000, $80,000. But let's say in this truck, I just wanted to put a simple V8 engine. Then maybe it's only 20 grand or 15 grand. The people that own these custom shops and chip tuning shops are literally the richest people in the city. Because imagine I went in there with that car and decided to change the wheels. They would make $5 million. Right there. $5 million off of one upgrade. Now, if I went in with that BMW, they would make 70 grand. Massive difference. And that's one big issue that I have as well. The fact that you can get all of these really nice looking cars, but to upgrade them, it is just way too expensive. Like even this truck, I remember winning it. I was like, oh bro, I want to go and upgrade it. Well, why don't we head over there and just see how much it costs to upgrade a $21 million Mercedes X-Class 6x6. It's a beautiful truck. And I'm sure nobody actually purchases wheels from custom shops anymore because they're just way too expensive. Like, I believe Luminous wheels sell for like 50 or 100K now because everybody gets them very easily. So who in their right mind would spend $2 or $3 million on wheels when they can just go and get some Luminous ones way cheaper? So like I said, this truck has a $21 million state value. And of course, the second we get here, somebody in a G-Wagon pulls up. Like, I would say leave the state values the way they are. Because if you win a super nice car and you want to sell it to the state, you should be able to get a pretty penny for it. But if you want to upgrade the car, you shouldn't have to dash out $20 million just to put wheels, underglow, window tint, and probably one other thing on. Like literally, I could easily spend over $20 million at this custom shop upgrading that crazy ass Bentley. I could take that $20 million and upgrade that BMW Z4 like 1 billion times. Like, does nobody else find that crazy? I know some of you are gonna say the same thing. It's because that car is super expensive and that car is not. Yeah, that's true, but you're putting the same wheels on. You're putting the same paint on. You're putting the same horn on. The same underglow. Literally all the same upgrades. It shouldn't be that much more money. Like, for example, when you go to the car dealership, they have exclusive cars, luxury, high, medium, and low-end cars. The upgrades should be based on what their class is, I guess. Like, that's just one idea. For example, this vehicle, let's just say this is a high-end vehicle. So then the upgrades for this would cost 3 times the amount of a low-end vehicle, or 4 times the amount. So maybe wheels for this would then cost 300K or 400K. But for a low-end vehicle, it would only cost 100K or 50K. There needs to be a cap put in place here, because pulling up to a custom shop and having to dash out $5 million to put wheels on is way too much money, even though I know I've already said that before. This dude has taken a good minute in the custom shop, and I have not seen anything change on his car. And there is a dickhead. You guys just saw the ID? Any admins watching? You just saw what happened? Alright, let's take a look at how much the wheels are. $3.7 million. Just gonna give him a little love tap here, just back his little G-Wagon up. Is he gonna back up? No? Okay. More love taps. There you go, buddy. Either way, you just saw the price. We didn't really need to do anything in there. Point is, I would have to spend 3.7 mil to put wheels on this thing. You can see why I'm leaving it stock, because right now, to my name, I have about $11 million. So I could put wheels on this truck. I could put wheels on that Bentley, and there goes over $8 million. It's actually around $9 million. So pretty much all of the money I have in my bank right now, just for wheels. Yet, Luminous wheels go for 100K. There's a lot of little things that need to be fixed in the server, because it's just crazy. And this thing looks gorgeous blacked out. Too bad it would cost me, actually no, I'd probably just go paint it black, even though it would cost still probably about 250 grand. But you guys get the point, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have some really expensive, really nice looking cars. Probably some that have 10 mil state values. Maybe some of you have 20 mil state value cars as well. And you're so happy to get it, you bring it to the custom shop. And then you realize, wait a minute, it's gonna cost me millions and millions and millions of dollars to upgrade this car. Like for certain vehicles, it's okay. For example, this Mercy has a $7 million state value, I believe, or 7.5 mil. 5 mil, that's even better. So if I want to upgrade this thing, it's actually relatively cheap. Not super cheap, but it's 10 times more expensive than it is for that BMW Z4. So wheels for this car right now will cost me $700,000 still. When you think about that, that is still a bucket load of money. The Chiron right here, that means it would cost $1.4 million to put wheels on it, since it is 2 times the state value of that Mercy. End of the day, I really think that should be changed, because it's just making like 6 or 7 people in the city extremely rich. And it's not like they're ever going to end up selling those businesses. And if they do, they're going to sell for like $1 billion. Because if one person goes in there with a very expensive car and you can make $5 million in a day, do you know how much money you would end up making? And of course, more than one person is going to use a custom shop in a day. On average, they probably make a minimum of 5 mil. You multiply that by a year, and it can't even show up on my calculator. It's too high of an amount. So why don't we just turn it into landscape mode and reopen the calculator? On average in a year, they'll make about $1.8 billion. 1.8 billion. And people wonder why the economy gets so screwed up in this server. There's people making billions of dollars. And then there's us bringing our expensive cars, putting one upgrade on and making them even richer. I really believe there should be a cap on it, just so then more people can go to the custom shops and upgrade the vehicles. Now, if there was specialty upgrades, for example, something like Benny's, then that is a different story. But too bad 90% of the new vehicles that come out don't have any upgrades. Like, actually, every vehicle on this side, except for those GTA cars, have no upgrades. No upgrades for any of these cars right here. No upgrades for the truck, the Pagani, the McLaren. The only car here that I just spawned in obviously does have upgrades, but I mean, I don't think they're that crazy. Actually, I don't even think it has upgrades. I mean, I fully maxed this thing out, and that's what it looks like, so... yeah, literally every single car here doesn't have any actual upgrades. It's just all of the exact same stuff you could put on all of these cars. Yet the price difference for everything is completely different and way overpriced. So I'm going to end the video off here. Let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section, and also comment what you think a good price point would be, or a good concept for how they can make this better for the community. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.